ride. Almost at the club,
What's going on
baby,
YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching this video here on N54 and more. In today's video, we will be changing the oil filter housing gasket on a 2014 BMW 320i. Alright, so this is my first time doing oil filter housing gasket on this. They told my homegirl that it was cracked and that's why it was causing the leak, but it is not cracked. Her alternator still doesn't have a whole bunch of oil covering and everything like that, so you know it's just leaking. I advise her to get it changed now because if it leaks more, it'll run down into our alternator, and I'll show you guys this. That's where our alternator is right there, and the oil filter housing is right above it. So if it keeps leaking, gets worse, it's gonna run in there and damage your alternator, and then also you've got belts and stuff under it. So preventative maintenance is always the best type of maintenance. So first thing I'm gonna do is get this cover off. I might move the air box or whatever, but I'm just gonna create enough space so that I can get in there and do exactly what I need to do. Try to make it quick, and we'll set this camera up so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we got this area kind of opened up a little bit. I could probably pull up some of these over here. So like that, and then let me see if I can get this one too. So we got that one off. Moving the wires out the way. I've got one bolt here, another one down here, and then I think another one down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling those. They're Torx. I don't know exactly what Torx they are, but before I pull those, I'm gonna open the oil filter cap. Once I open the oil filter cap, oil will go downward and it won't leak out and cause a giant mess. It's gonna be messy, but let's try and mitigate some of that. So let me get to that now. Alright, so I have absolutely run into some bad news for myself. And this is why mechanics charge a certain amount for labor, because you never know what you have to do. So I come down here and I find that one of the bolts is, let me see, is right there. So it's down here and the intake is right in the way. So intake is right in the way. I gotta move this wire because it's getting annoying to me. But intake is right in the way, so I'm gonna have to lift up the computer and then disconnect the charge pipe and then lift up the intake just to get to that one bolt. So that's why mechanics charge a certain amount for labor, and it may seem high, but there's a lot of shit that goes into it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on it because I'm here now, so let's get it done. Okay, so we made a little progress. As you saw, I disconnected the the computer. Disconnected the computer. Oh yeah, I got some ash going over there. Whatever. Disconnected the computer. Pulled it off and then pulled off this bracket. So you pull off the computer first, then pull off the bracket. They're all T30s. So now I'm gonna go ahead and try to just lift the intake. I'm not gonna try to remove the intake, I'm just gonna try to lift it. So I'm gonna hit these 10 millimeters down here, or 10 or 11, I think, whichever one they are. Hit these down here and then try to slide it out the way, pop that bolt. So let's get it. Alright, so I got the bolts out, so I'm gonna go ahead and go for the other ones. I think there's like 3 more, so I'm gonna go for those and try to at least move this thing out the way, figure out what I need to do. Maybe I'm gonna drop some coolant or what, I don't know, but I will find out. Okay, so I've got the oil filter housing off now, but what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to fully disconnect it because it has this line here, it has this line here. I prefer not to disconnect them. That could spawn possibly more leaks. And it's still dripping. So anyway, what I'm gonna do now, okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take my pick. Probably should flip the camera around, but it ain't no big deal. Take my pick, go ahead and, oh yeah, this gasket was definitely leaking because it is hard as a rock. So I'm probably gonna need to get a smaller screwdriver or something. To try and get this thing out. But yeah, this gasket is hard as a rock, so let's see. Okay, like I said, this gasket was absolutely rock hard, so it doesn't even really squish properly. I can feel the tenseness in it. So now looking down here, I have this kind of cleaned up, but I'm gonna still scrape off all that black and try to use a razor and get all that off. Over here, I'm gonna make sure all the surfaces are good on this side, and then put it back. So as you can see, one bolt here that goes in from this side, one here, and then that one back there I had to lift up the intake to get to. So let me go ahead and clean this up and then I'll be back for the install. Okay, I got the area all cleaned up a little better or whatever. But I normally put silicone on these just in case as extra layer protection or guarantee the seal. But as you can see, this gasket sticks out so far. I can't really get the focus. Yep, gasket sticks out so far that I'm not even gonna put silicone on it because once I do tighten everything up, it's gonna just mesh completely. So I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall it and then go ahead and get back to putting everything together. Okay, well we are basically done. Just gotta put back in these small pieces here. Just gotta make sure I put everything back in right. Pretty simple and straightforward. However, that whatchamacallit, intake definitely threw a big wrench into my plans of how long this is supposed to take. So maybe next time I'll do a little better research, and then once I do better research, I won't be caught off guard by stuff like this. Little recap, the bolts here for the oil filter housing, they are a E10, so the inverted torques, it's a 10. The bottom one I couldn't get on there because of the little housing right here, so I used the 8mm socket. 8mm socket definitely works well when you're not trying to put too much torque on it and when there's not too much torque on it in the first place. The intake was 11mm. Those came off pretty easy, as usually intake bolts do. Connections and everything, these were T30s. The DME, the computer, those were T30s. And then yeah, I swapped out the gasket, cleaned up everything. As you can see, it looks nice and clean. I'll probably get a better shot of it in a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna get it started up. Put a little more coolant in it first, and then start it up. Man, when I say after I clean up, just a little bit of cleanup, thing just look good. Yeah, as you can see, I cleaned up that area. Down here too, so there's no oil there. So if there is any other leaks, you see that shine? Ooh. So if there is any other leaks, I can tell. And then I go from there, let her know what the deal is. But yeah, we're all done. Bolted everything back up, put back some coolant in it. No oil really came out. So that's about it for this. All right, well, that is gonna be the end of this video. Changing that is not too bad, but that intake piece really ruined my plan of action to get this done. But I still got it done. So hopefully this video helps somebody. If you haven't already done so, please be sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment, turn on notifications, and hit that share button. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.